Afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is another unscripted auction review. Today we're looking at a 2000 Grand Cherokee WJ. So it went live a couple days ago. I kind of missed it, but I'm going to watch it now. Um, Pretty cool looking Jeep, to be honest. You don't see a whole lot of really clean WJs anymore. WJ is the second generation Grand Cherokee. Ran from 99 to 2004. And this flame red, as this color, is I think it was maybe only after the first 2 years, if I remember correctly. I could look that up, but I think that's accurate. I always liked it, especially on a limited. It looks great with the color matched lower cladding and bumpers and grill. The Laredos had gray cladding down there and a chrome grill. Limiteds also had these silver-backed headlights, which says it's all correct here. Let's see here. So it's currently at just under 4 grand. I will update you at the end of this video with the selling price. I won't post this till after it goes live. I don't know if people like that. I can always post these during the auction, although I kind of feel like that's maybe a little petty. But yeah, so what do I see here? These rocker panels here, this is what's left of what I believe were the Mopar accessory running boards. They would have had a black step that looks like it's gone missing there. It actually looks kind of cool in its own weird way. Not great, but they should be just a color, just a red rocker panel down there. Otherwise, just a small one. The European market ones had a black cover. I don't know why. No idea. But yeah, I don't see a sunroof, so this is sort of an unusually equipped limited. They had, I'd have to look it up again. It was like the K package or something like that that the majority of them had, which had a sunroof, heated seats up front, a CD changer. And I think Quadra Drive might have come with that on these. I'm a little rusty on these. I do see tow hooks here. This is probably an upcountry vehicle. Upcountry is a slightly higher suspension, tow hooks, skid plates. I think that's about it on the limited or on the WJs. On the XJs, they came with a limited slip differential, but WJs you could get a limited slip as a line item option with the base select track transfer case. But we'll see what this one has in it. My guess is it's the Quadra Drive or the Quadra Track 2. Tires look a little big, but they look good. Probably a little oversized. So what do I have here? Flame red over taupe leather, V8, Quadra Drive 2. This is incorrect. Brian Taylor got that wrong. Quadra Drive 2 is what they called it in the next generation Grand Cherokee, the WK. This is probably just a Quadra Drive or Quadra Track 2. We'll find out. Looks like it's been in Nevada since new. It rolls on blah, blah, blah wheels. It's kind of a weird way of putting that. It says it has a trailer hitch. That was an option. Infinity Gold was standard on these, at least on the limiteds, and a cassette stereo. We'll see if it has the CD changer. 80,000 miles, and not a lot of information otherwise here. I should have said this before, but the seller just got this. This one's being flipped. All right, let's see here. From the back, I do see the factory trailer hitch. I do see the Quadra Drive badge. So yeah, it's an unusual equipment to have no sunroof on this one. Much preferable as far as I'm concerned. See, we'll go through the photos in a second, but everything I see here looks good. That is the factory pinstripe on these. The earlier WJs did come with the roof rails. At some point, they made those an option, but they were standard. Taupe leather, that actually looks good from that kind of lousy picture there. We've got a very ugly carpeted dash mat, but probably does a good job of protecting the dash. I see the needles are quite orangey red, which is good. Those will fade when exposed to a lot of sun. So this thing's probably sat in a garage. The red paint really does, the clear coat really feels quickly on it, and it fades to sort of a pinkish with a nasty clear coat look. So nice to see that this one at least looks shiny. We've got our V8 under here. Nice engine. I know these kind of get a bad rap, but I think as long as you maintain them, they're pretty solid motors. Just keep doing the oil changes. We'll see what the Carfax says on it. These earlier ones had the silver texture here at some point. The WJ was heavily decontented during its life. It was designed prior to the Daimler acquisition of Chrysler, the so-called merger of equals. And Daimler really went through and cut a lot of stuff out of these. That appears to be the skid plate there. It's a little hard to tell on these. That's the fuel tank. It looks like it's the skid plate. The regular fuel tank kind of looks the same. Yeah, I can see where it's been welded, and there's this additional welded whatever this is. But that said, a lot of these, there was a recall at one point on a lot of these to add the skid plate to them because the fuel tanks were being punctured and would rupture. Yeah, it calls it a quadra-drive 2 transfer case. That again is wrong. It's not, quadra-drive is not technically the transfer case. It's a quadra-track transfer case. The quadra-drive system had these Verilok differentials in the front and rear, which is basically like a really aggressive limited slip. I mean, it's not really what it is, but in practice it is. Let's see here. Carfax, 2 owners, 1 open recall. I bet you that's for the fuel tank. That may have been performed. You never know. So it was a corporate car for 15 years and then a personal for 10. So it's actually a 3 owner vehicle. Or, I mean, you never know. Corporate might have transferred to a personal, but oddly enough, it does not reflect the current owners. They must have just gotten it. Sparks, Nevada. Nevada's a good place to buy cars, generally speaking. I mean, as long as they don't live, deep into the Tahoe area, they don't really. Rust is not really a big concern. Not much info here. Reno, which is where Sparks is, that general area is more rust prone than Las Vegas, certainly, but is still very dry. Not a bad place by any means. Bad place for paint. That's a Reno vulcanizing. Take a look at it. Interesting. It looks like they did a fair amount of stuff to it. Again, there's very little information here, and a lot of this is fairly old. They had a crankshaft position sensor replaced. Pretty simple thing. And they did it again. So it looks like they were tracking down. Well, that might be the same. This is probably the same service, same date. Just in there twice. An oil change, another oil change 3,000 miles later. See, I do think there was a transfer of ownership here. Yeah, looking pretty good here. There's some basic info here. Nothing particularly detailed, but still a regular servicing. Like to see all of this. Looks like we had some suspension work here, a ball joint. Again, another one. 4 miles, same date. Okay, so there's a lot of this stuff. This Andes Automotive seems to be service facility. Seems to be the same thing. It just is entered twice in here for some reason. Yeah, they definitely, toward the end here, have really done a good job of maintaining it. We had a blend door repair done. That's a big deal. That's a big failure on these. It pretty much requires a dash out replacement. From what I understand, there is a workaround these days for it, but back 20 years ago when these things were initially starting to fail, it was a big job to fix that blend door that just basically prevents the heat or cold from going where it's supposed to go, put it simply. Yeah. All right, let's go back and look at this Jeep then. There's not a ton of photos on this one. So I'll zip through this pretty quickly. All right, here, that was the hero shot, so we'll skim that. That headlight looks really nice. This one looks a little foggy, passenger one. We'll see if it's true up close. Paint looks great. Paint looks really nice on this thing. Let's keep going here. Yeah, maybe the headlights are about the same. Take back what I said. Definitely, tires look too big. Actually, I mean, they look great, but they look too big to be stock. It's just funny, these black antennas, they eventually went to a silver antenna. Why do I know these things? They went to a silver antenna because the black ones would peel off, and you can see this one started to peel at the top. Body looks good, little dent over there. I just hate seeing these running board things on, even though they look cool. There's, what could be lurking underneath there. Definitely a good place for moisture to get trapped. Looks like we got a scratch on the tailgate here. Maybe a dent. That looks like maybe a shadow, but this looks like something's happened there. Because you can see it from enough angles to know it's probably a little small something going on there. I'll zoom in on a few of these. Yeah, looks like we've had some touched up paint there. I can't quite read the tire size. Let's see if we get a better shot at some point here. Some more touched up paint. Yeah, this thing looks fantastic, honestly. A little scuff here. For what it is. Very few of these were preserved for whatever reason. Fading on the crossbar there, really normal. And then I've seen that on Jeeps that were from very cloudy places. Yeah, so we've had some sort of a scuff there. May have opened into a garage door or something like that. Tailgate popped open. Something like that. Yeah, the headlights look like they could use... this one's got moisture in it. That's why it looked more faded to me. But they could use a good scrub. Or replacement. I don't know if the aftermarket headlights are not of very good quality. All right, we've got that Jeep badge there that's typical where these start to peel. You should probably be able to still find this chrome. It's plastic. I mean, it's not chrome, but you should be able to replace that 4x4 badge. A lot of that stuff was shared with the XJs. So we got a 245/70. That actually I think is the stock size with Upcountry. Gonna assume again this is probably an Upcountry truck. Haven't pulled the build sheet on it, but skid plates and tow hooks. You could get just skid plates and tow hooks on these, but I think this is an Upcountry. Taupe carpet looks really clean. Those are some junky Walmart floor mats. Infinity Gold audio system. Yeah, seats look really nice. They dry out on these real bad. These are great. This one's got some cracks in it here, but you can easily, that's just vinyl on the side. Easy $100 and $150 replacement. Just under 80,000. Needles, like I said, look really good on that because they do fade. A dash cover. Love to see what it looks like under the dash cover. I don't think we're probably going to, but I did see, I'm going to back up here. Yeah, it looks like this seat's been folded at some point for an extended period, which is where it's gone into the seat there. Kind of left an indentation because this part here, not the pleated part, but whatever this is real leather. We got the cargo cover. We've got, this has the CD changer back here in this little pocket. I mean, they didn't all have that, but I think it has the pocket. It's got the CD changer. Stock wheel, that is the Wrangler SRA 245/70. So these are stock size tire. This was you could get these as a line item option, the white outline tires, but it also came with Upcountry. So again, this is an Upcountry truck, I'm sure of it. Great spec, honestly. No sunroof, Upcountry, really nice. Pop out window is pretty neat. Yeah, we got underside. Underside looks great on this. I want this thing. I don't usually get this excited about them. I'm not. Oh, this is part of the running board. So this is probably where the horizontal part would have attached. Probably slots into that. Would love to know what happened to those. Be a good question to ask. Looks like we're all stock under here, so there's gonna be. I'm sure some of these bushings are, starting to get a little worn, but the shocks look original. Nothing really looks like it's been refreshed under here. And with 80,000 miles, it's time. So we got a December build date on this guy, December 99, so it's sort of early 2000. We do have some service records here. Those are not legible, but those definitely go back a ways. A handwritten thing here. It's kind of difficult to really understand what's happening here, but upper left ball joint removed and replaced in 2017. Okay, that's not terribly useful. What do we have here? All right. Look, somebody's done some, well, it's funny because we've got some marks for some of this stuff, but, and this goes back quite a ways because we're in the 30,000 mile range here, but, they didn't do things like the transmission and transfer case have not been touched here, so who knows. Got our original owner's manual, 2 keys, Sentry keys. They give you 2 different colored remotes so you know which was which. His and hers kind of a setup there. But these keys with the gray are the Sentry key, the theft deterrent system. And we got this was probably stuff that was shoved into the spare tire well with that cargo net. But that's your hitch cover and your adapter for the trailer hitch. Cool, Grand Cherokee. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing where this one ends. I think this will do pretty well. Pretty appealing combination. I would budget a little bit for some suspension refreshing, but yeah, overall, a really nice Jeep. All right, thanks again for watching. Be sure to like this video and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these going forward. All right, hope you have a great day.